and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side cannon shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like the bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show. Homie, I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from the nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecap. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you're hollering and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live. Got your clap with the big 4-5, you bitch nigga. If you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping, first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga, it'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
How has Shopify?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. Good Tuesday afternoon. How is y'all's doing? How's y'all's doing, man? I'm doing great, man. I'm feeling good. You know, them first couple of weeks back to work, that was hard, man. Woo, that was hard, but I'm getting used to it. The old man's body's building up, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, what was that? The Thundercats? What Mumra? He would say, restore this old decrepit body. And he would get all buff. Ah, right? Oh, Momra, the ever living. Oh man, shout out to brother Eric, man. Shout out to Eric, man. Let us use the song Relapse. Appreciate that, man. 16 to life. Go check him out, man. Good dude, man. Brother Eric's a good dude, man. All right, man. But I don't have time to mess with brother Eric today, man. So I'm gonna tell you to go to his page, check him out. Today I got the hammer came down on the Donald. The hammer came down on the Donald. The Donald said, well, first of all, what is the hammer coming down on the Donald mean? Right? What does that mean? I mean that the jury found him guilty of libel. And so they can't exactly convict him of the crime, but they can say that it's likely that this occurred, and therefore he was liable for saying that it didn't occur. They haven't found him guilty of the assault. They saying they because they can't. There's no really way to prove that it happened or didn't happen, but they're saying most likely it did happen based on her accounts and based on his behavior since then. It's likely that it occurred. Therefore, when he was saying that, it never happened and she was crazy and she was just trying to get money out of him, you know, they saying he's liable for making those statements, right? So that's what it is. I mean, he's not in a sexual assault case, right? This is a civil suit, right? This is a civil case. It's not a sexual assault case. Would be a criminal case, right? So let's make sure we got the story straight across the board, right? Let's make sure we got the story straight. Before we do that, man, let's check everybody in. I got my resident sniper. It's just me and you, girl. We got my resident sniper in the building. Risa Neal. Risa Neal's in the building, man. If you want to really, if you value your chat privileges, if you value your chat privileges, don't mess with Risa Neal. Just don't. Risa Neal is that person that you just walk away. You just walk away because Risa's gonna give you that look, and then when you get that look, next thing's gonna happen. You're gonna wake up in the hospital 2 days. Wake up out of that coma 2 weeks later, right? You wake up out of that digital coma 2 weeks later. Oh, hey, then you're gonna be calling me. You're gonna be texting me or emailing me. I was in the chat and one of your mods I was disagreeing with one of your mods, and next thing I know, I was blocked. Right? I'm gonna just go like this. Say, well, do you want to come back? Do you want to come back? Come on back. But shout out to Risa Neal, man. Glad to have you to be able to assist. As always, man. You got to have an enforcer, y'all. You got to have an enforcer in your chat, and that's where a lot of people are slipping. Right? I want to make money. I want to do this. I want to do that, but you don't have the backup in your chat. So your chat gets out of hand and crazy, man. And what happens is one person can disrupt your whole chat, just like we see one person can disrupt your whole panel, right? That's why Brother Clarence don't do the big panels no more, right? Because you get a big panel on there, man, and if you want to see how a big panel can destroy a program, go look at the mothership. Go look at them, right? You got 10 people trying to establish a position, and then so for you to really get your point across, you got to say a bunch of crazy stuff, and then those are the people that get the most attention or the most looks. It's just a crazy situation, man. But let's get to this Trump thing, man. Let's get to this Trump thing. I got some, man. I mean, and let me say this about Trump. I have no issue with him either way. I never thought he was a Boy Scout. I never thought he was in the choir. Oh, shout out to Vaughn, man. You know what, Vaughn? Damn, I forgot to send out all. You remind me. I forgot to send out all the links. But anyway, that's okay. I don't want y'all. Yeah, this might be a little. What do you call that? Controversial. So maybe it's best I leave you guys out of it. But anyway, yeah, I never had no position one way or the other politically with Trump. I agree with some of the things he said. There's some of the things I said, well, maybe he could do it a different way, right? But I was never a big Trump guy, and I was never a big, off with his head guy. You know what I mean? Now, here's the part. Here's the part where black people get caught up. This is where black people get caught up in politics. Write this down. Black people look for good people in politics, and they try to match. They try to make sure that the person is a good person, right? They say, well, we want to put a good person there instead of putting the person that's going to do the most for them. You understand what I'm saying? In my opinion, white people don't look at it that way. White people look at it like this. I don't care what he been doing. He been out there grabbing women. I don't care. Is he going to make my business do better? Is he going to put another car in my driveway? Right? Is he going to put a program together to help me, take care of some business around it? That's the way white people look at it. They don't really look at it like, oh, well, he's got bad character, so you know what I'm saying? Politics is a dirty business, man. Politics is tough to be in politics and keep your hands clean. It's tough. But see, we as black people, man, we think, because we think like back in Africa, man, you had the best people, the elders, the best people sat at that council table and decided what was going to happen in the village, in the tribe. The best of the rest, right? The people with the best character, with the best of everything, right? They sat there and they was able to, decide things for the best of the tribe. See, black people, we still stuck there, man. We not there no more. You in America now. American politics don't work that way. American politics don't work that way, man. You can't. Good people. Even if you send a good person into politics, man, they ain't gonna stay good, because it's just a dirty business. You got to get your hands dirty in that business, man. You got to make deals. You got to make deals that you don't want to make deals. You don't want to, but those are the only options, right? Think about President Obama. President Obama, and not only President Obama, but all of the presidents. You have choices like this. Well, if we take this action, 100 million people are going to die. If we take this action, 120 million people are going to die, based on our numbers. So you don't have no choice where nobody's going to die. You got to decide who's worth killing. Did Obama have to make that choice? He had to make those choices a lot of times. He got blasted for it, right? So this is not. Shout out to Don Frank, by the way. Shout out to Daryl Long, by the way. Shout out to everybody checking in, man. Shout out to everybody checking in. Shout out to everybody in the bushes. So, Mr. Trump, man, I never looked at him as a Boy Scout. I never said, well, and I never looked at him like most black people look at political candidates. Most black people that's when they're looking at the character of a person, right? When they're looking at political candidates, right? They don't check the character when they looking at when they trying to have personal relationships. They don't look at the character when they have business relationships. They don't look at character no other time, right? Except for when they putting somebody in a political office. Then they say, oh, I want this person to be a good person. Right? It's crazy, man. The black community is a crazy place, man. It's just crazy how we think about things, man. It's just really, you know what I'm saying? And then we sit around try to find somebody to blame when we don't get nowhere. We ain't getting nowhere. You ain't getting nowhere because you're thinking about this thing the wrong way. White people get places and other people get places because they think about this thing. Hey, I'm not here to send no Boy Scout I'm not sending the Boy Scout to presidency. That's not what I'm doing. I'm sending somebody here that can make decisions that I want them to make. I want them to make these kind of decisions. That's who I'm sending there, right? But black people are like, hey, no, you got to be a Boy Scout. We only want to send Boy Scouts to political office, and that's not the reality because everybody got something in their background that they did. But we're here to talk about Mr. Trump. So let's look at Mr. Trump. Well, first of all, let's see what happened. Let's see what happened today. Because y'all don't want to take my word for it. Let's see what happened today. Let's see what our good buddy, Mr. The Donald, let's see what happened with him today. Come on, y'all. Come on, StreamYard. Come on, StreamYard. All right, let's look at the Donald.
Breaking news, a verdict has been reached now in the case of E. Jean Carroll versus former President Trump. Kelly?
Hi, Scott. Hi, everybody. The U.S. jury has reached a verdict in the rape and defamation trial by E. Jean Carroll against Trump. And here are their findings. That Donald Trump did not rape E. Jean Carroll. That's according to the jury. They did find that Trump sexually abused Carroll, and there are some financial awards here. The jury awards Carroll $2 million in compensatory damages for the battery claims against Trump. They also award her $20,000 in punitive damages for that battery claim. They also find that Trump defamed Carroll in October 2022 when he called her allegations a con job. And for that, they award Carroll $2.7 million in compensatory damages for the defamation. So again, the U.S. jury in this case finding Donald Trump did not rape E. Jean Carroll, but that he did sexually abuse her, $2 million in compensatory damages for that, $20,000 in punitive damages for that, and then find that he did defame Carroll.
All right, y'all. Oh, shout out to my sister OG Patrice. Shout out to my sister OG Patrice. OG Patrice. I gotta hit you, girl, when I get done with this. I gotta hit you. OG Patrice in the building. Who else in the building? I think I got Don Frank. But if I didn't, shout out to Sister Frank. Got you. Okay. So y'all see that the man, they say, oh, well, he got convicted of sexual assault. They clickbaiting you. He never was, he is not on trial for sexual assault. This is a civil case. A sexual assault case would be a criminal case. This is a civil case. This is a strictly a libel case. Did he lie and did he defame this lady by saying she didn't do this and this and this and that? Right? Did he defame her? Because she said that he some kind of way attacked her sexually in a I think a changing room or something like that, right? So don't get it twisted, y'all. This ain't you see them out here putting out here, oh well, he's guilty of sexual assault. No, he's not guilty of sexual assault. He's not even being on trial for sexual assault. This is a civil case. All he is on trial for libel for hurting her character, hurting her ability to earn income by creating an environment where people basically blacklisting her, right? Nobody will want to work with her. Shout out to M Mills, glad to have you in the building, sis. Good to see you, right? So don't get it twisted. So that's what he was found guilty of. He was found guilty of libel. He's liable for what he said about this lady. And the people, all they found was that it's most likely that this stuff occurred. Right? It's most likely that it did occur. Therefore, they awarded her the damages. Right? So she got the damage. So I think altogether it's a little over $5 million, right? Not bad. Not bad. She'd be lucky if she get it. Because man, if there's I got a friend like Trump, man. They would just hide from you. They will not pay you, even though they got the money in their pocket. They just won't pay. I'm like, why you not don't just pay the person? Man, I need to do something else with this money. I'm like, okay, all right. We can be friends, but hey, I'm not gonna do no business with you. I tell you that right now. Thank you, Emil. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, man. So the Donald, guilty of libel, right? Slander or whatever they want to call it, right? Because he hurt her career. He hurt her career by saying she's a nut, she's crazy, she's chasing me, she's stalking me, you know. He hurt her career, allegedly, right? But my thing is, why did they find this dude guilty? Why would you think Donald Trump could even do something like this? Right? Well, let's take a look. Don't listen to me. Don't just listen to me. I'm not a character like our good buddy Joshua. I'm not a character. He's a character. Let's look at Mr. Trump. He's a character. A character. Okay. This is a little thing about John Trump, and when he decided to go and start bragging about the fact that he could grab women in the genitalia whenever he wants, right? Because he's a big star. All right, let's listen.
Caught on a hot mic, released just weeks before the election. Then candidate Trump apologized and dismissed it as locker room talk. TV host Billy Bush, though, was dismissed from his job. And tonight he's speaking out in an exclusive on-camera interview with ABC's Robin Roberts.
Here we are 7 months later. You're unemployed. Donald Trump is president of the United States. That must be a thought that has crossed your mind.
I can acknowledge that the irony is glaring. It certainly has crossed my mind.
In fact, for Billy Bush, his very public fall from grace nearly consumed him.
The last 7.5 months has been a process.
She's your girl's hot in the purple. Whoa. Yes. Whoa. Yes, the Donald has scored.
It seemed to happen in an instant. Just over a month before the presidential election, this Access Hollywood tape recorded in 2005 came out. It showed now President Donald Trump and Bush having a lewd and graphic conversation.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait.
That's assault, by the way. That's assault. Can't just come up and touch somebody. That's assault, right? But my man Donald Trump he's just getting warmed up. He's just getting warmed up. He says, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful women. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. I just kiss. I don't even wait. Now, this was cool up to right here. I'm automatically attracted to beautiful women. Yeah, we all are, right? This is where it got a little cringy, right? I just start kissing them. Whoa. Yikes. This is why we do the program. No means no, man. This is why we do no means no. You cannot just walk up to a woman that you don't know and start kissing on them and say, hey, I'm this so-and-so actor from this, man. I'm going to show you. You just can't do this. This is out. This is off. Man, did you guys not see what happened to Patrick Mahomes' brother? Patrick Mahomes' brother is getting ready to be a RSO, registered sex offender. He's getting ready to be a RSO. Why? What did Patrick Mahomes' brother do? He went up to a friend of his mother, grabbed her and started kissing on her like the Donald, right? Like the Donald said, just grab him and kiss him. You somebody. You got a name on you, just go up there and kiss him. Right? Wrong. That's why we should be everywhere. We should be everywhere doing no means no, because these young guys don't know. They're listening to these dudes like this, man, from old school dudes like this, and they're getting caught up. And then on top of that, they got an infusion of testosterone that makes them go ahead and go out and do this stuff. No. All right, so he says, it's like a magnet. I just kiss. I don't even wait. Okay, so that was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you could do stuff like that. A woman would pull you to the side and say, hey, bro, that's not cool. Don't do that no more. And that would be the end of it. Now, oh no, now you're going to jail. And if you got a little piece of money, you're going to get dragged through the ringer. You're going to get dragged through the ringer if you got a little piece of money. Right? It's a new day out here, y'all. It's a new day out here. But anyway, this is the Donald, right? Let's finish up with the Donald.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the do anything.
We live in a visual and digital age, so we get this.
All right, so y'all heard him. Y'all heard the Donald say you can grab somebody by the, short and curlies, right? You a star, they just gonna let you do it. Are they really gonna let you do it? Are they really gonna let you do it? See, here's the thing, y'all. Matter of fact, you know what? See, because I know some people think I'm playing. I study my industry. All right. I study my industry. What's Patrick Mahomes' brother name? I study my industry. I studies my industry. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Let's do this. Cause see, y'all probably looking at it like, oh well, he don't know what he's talking about. Clarence, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh no, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Let me do this real quick. Cause see, yeah, that's his name, Jackson Mahomes. Jackson Mahomes. Okay. So it's Patrick Mahomes. Dude won a Super Bowl. Won a Super Bowl. Young boy won a Super Bowl. All right, just won a Super Bowl. And his little brother been flipping out. His little brother's been flipping out ever since, right? It's really been since before that. He think he's somebody just because his brother's somebody. You think you somebody because your brother's somebody. You ain't somebody because your brother's somebody. Your brother did the work. You just getting the clout. But anybody can pull that clout from you because you ain't got no works. Go behind that clout. Anyway, let's look at it. Let's look at Jordan Mahomes, because y'all saying, man, Clarence, this is a travesty that this happened to Donald Trump, right? This shouldn't happen. It's not gonna happen to nobody else. It's just happened to him. It's a witch hunt for Donald Trump. Okay, let me show you another witch hunt.
Influencer and brother of Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes was arrested this morning for aggravated sexual battery. Mahomes is accused of assaulting a waiter and forcibly kissing the female owner of a Kansas City area restaurant on February 25th. NBC News correspondent Vaughn Hilliard is following this story for us. So, Vaughn, what more can you tell us?
Yeah, it was this morning at sunrise that Jackson Mahomes was formally detained. He turned himself in to the Johnson County Detention Center in Overland Park, Kansas. Of course, Jackson Mahomes is the brother of star Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, but he's risen to his own prominence on his brother's coattails, becoming a social media influencer, big on TikTok, big on Instagram. And this event goes back to February, in which there was an incident on February 25th, in which in Overland Park, Kansas, a 40-year-old restaurant owner says that Jackson Mahomes not only shoved a waiter, but then upon attempting to address him about that particular incident, alleges that Jackson Mahomes then forcibly kissed her. She says that there are marks, bruises that show.
Oh! There's a witch hunt for Donald Trump. This is a witch hunt. Nah, bruh. If you mess with these women in the wrong way, even if it's back in the day, man, what the best thing you could do is own up to it. Hey, I did it. I was out of my mind at the time. I did it. You can't run around here saying, I don't even know her. You know what Donald Trump was saying? I don't even know. I never met her. Right? Right? Bobby Johnson, South Central. Police came rolling up on him. Hey, we're looking for Ray Ray. Never heard of him. Donald Trump like, I never heard of her. Never heard of her. Right? And the police said, nope, we're not going for it. Don't even try it. We can put you there. We can put her there. We can put the whole story together. We can put everything together. So they must got some receipts that puts him there. See, now and like I said, y'all, once you lie, your credibility is gone. Once you lie, all you got to do is lie one time. And that's it. Them lawyers going to destroy you. And they're going to try to, even if you got a good story, they'll try to they try to trip you up so you will say something. And then they can say, oh, well, see, you done heard the lead attorney do that, right? Person talking, right? All of a sudden, the lead attorney will flip whatever they saying on them, and the next thing you know, they're out of pocket, right? They're like, wait a minute. And you spend the whole time trying to recover, come back to where you was at, right? Because you wasn't even on that tip. You on this tip, right? Lead attorney said, he said out of his own mouth, I've been doing this. I know how to twist you around like that. I already know how to do that, right? He said, I've been doing this for 20 years. This is what I do, twist people up. Get them upset, get them mad, get them to say something crazy, and then I can just flip that into something else. I can flip that into whatever I want. That's why you got to watch yourself around these people, man. You got to watch yourself. Clarence, you talking about the lead attorney? I'm not talking about him. I'm repeating what he said. He said that. He said, I know how to flip you. He said, I've been doing this all these years. I know how to do it. I can take something you said and flip it around so well. By the time I get done with it, you on your heels. And now you ain't got time to present the way you wanted to present. Now you spend all that time defending all of these fires I'm putting out here, right? All these daggers. Shout out to Cyrus Susan Setti. These daggers that you putting out there, right? What's a dagger? Right? What's a dagger? Shout out to Cyrus Susan Setti. He said a dagger, when a dagger goes in, what happened? You got to leave it in. Then another dagger comes in. And what happened? You got to leave that one in. Then another dagger. You got to leave. Why? Because if you take them daggers out, everything goes to start squirting everywhere. So you got to leave it in. But now you got to deal with this one and this one and this one. You can't even breathe like you was normally breathing, right? These attorneys, they have daggers, man. Verbal daggers that they throw at you. And you get stuck, you get twisted up. Huh? Look at Patrick Mahomes' brother. All he did was grab this lady and kiss her. It wasn't innocent. No, it was an assault, but I mean, it wasn't like very violent or anything like that. It was very unprofessional, unprovoked, disrespectful. Very disrespectful what he did. But in my opinion, but that's me. I'm not the female that he grabbed, right? The female that he grabbed might feel like, hey man, I don't know what he was gonna do, right? I don't know what this dude gonna do. And then I tried to leave, and he held on. Thank you, Patrice. Inappropriate. Now, if you know somebody that's different, right? Because if you do something inappropriate to somebody that you know, that person gonna say, hey, hold on, man. Wait a minute, hold on, bro. That's you're going a little too far. And you go, oh, I'm sorry, right? But that don't really hurt the relationship like that, right? But somebody you don't even know this female. Or for you females that do that, but it's very rare for females. But you females that do that, you don't know this man. Can't just go around grabbing hot dogs. You don't know. You don't know these people, man. You don't know nobody. You don't know what these dudes gonna do. You don't know if a dude is, you know, batting for the home team or batting for the visitors. You don't know. You never know. Or both, right? Right? So I'm trying to dispel the witch hunt myth, right? Because that's what they going with. This is a witch hunt for Donald Trump. These things are witch hunts. No. You guys see, I do every Sunday, I do reports on guys that get caught up in stuff like this. Like this young man here. He got a sexual battery case out there on him. That's a felony case. That's a felony case. He might end up RSO. I doubt it. And here's why I doubt it. Because the Mahomes family is definitely going to dig in their war chest and just give this girl some money. And this case is going to fly away like a little bird, like a swallow on the way to Capistrano. It's going to fly away. Right? The problem that this guy's going to have is if the state picks it up. See, it might be some state, it might be some AG, right, that wants to make a name for himself that push it, right? Uh-oh. Now you got a problem. Even though the girl dropped the case and she like, I ain't even gonna testify nothing, right? They gave her $2 or $3 million, right, to just go away. But the state can pick it up and subpoena her ass back over there. So now she got the money and she still testified. She's still gonna testify because she got subpoenaed. So this is a bad situation. Now, my thing is, let's get back to Donald Trump. My thing with Donald Trump is this. We got to understand, man, that we got to stop looking for Boy Scouts. Okay? Y'all, we got to stop looking for Boy Scouts in our political arena. We got to look for people that's going to get stuff done. You're not sending them up there to go to prayer meetings. Okay? You're not sending these people up here to Capitol Hill to go to prayer meetings. You're sending them up there to get something done, to get stuff done. Right? You send them up there to get sausage, right? Sometimes the way they got to get that sausage made, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. All you want is your sausage, right? Whatever law you want to pass, whatever thing you want it done, that's what you want. So let's focus on that, because we as Black people, we focus too much on that's the only time we look for character. Only time we look for character is when we gonna send somebody to Capitol Hill. Now we want to look to see if they're a Boy Scout, right, or a Girl Scout. We want to see if they're a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout. We don't do that in relationships. We don't do that in business relationships. We don't do that hardly any place. We the opposite. White people look for character in everything. And when I say they look for character, I'm just saying they look for like minds. They look for like-mindedness. It's not so much for character, excuse me. They look for like-mindedness of this person of like mind. Okay? And they kind of have the same character. Okay, cool. We can work with that. Right? You see, when all this stuff came out about Trump and he talked about grabbing women in the vagina and all that, did you see any of these churches back off of him? None of them white churches backed off of Donald Trump, right? They was like, hey, that's his thing. But one thing I know is, my business is going to be doing better, right? But Black people are like, oh, no, man, you're not a Boy Scout. We can't vote for you because you ain't a Boy Scout. No, we got to get out of that. I mean, on the Democratic side and on the Republican side. Stop looking for Boy Scouts. Stop looking for Girl Scouts. They don't exist. Even if you send a Boy Scout on Capitol Hill. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're gonna have to get with the business sooner or later, right? It's like you send a kid up here to Harbor Christian School out here in Torrance, nice little Harbor Christian School, nice, everything like that, and take that kid out of there and send him down to John Muir down here in Watts or Lock High in Watts, right? They're gonna get a new awakening, right? Eventually they're gonna have to get with the program or they ain't gonna make it, right? They'll learn. They're gonna learn. Or you send them to Centennial out here in Compton or Dominguez or Compton High. They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn today. Well, that's what happens when you send these people up on Capitol Hill. Your little Boy Scouts, your little Girl Scouts, right? Oh, he's just been so and then we get so surprised when they get turned out. Right? Right? The Whispers had a song called Olivia, right? Lost and Turned Out, right? About a girl, man, that was a nice little girl and everything, man. Got caught up with the wrong crowd. Got lost and turned out, right? Some of these politicians, man, they get lost and turned out. Most of them do. Because that's the game. The game is set up for them to get lost and turned out. The game is set up for them to not have it's not about morality. Capitol Hill is it's not where morality permeates from. Stop thinking about Africa or what is called Africa. What was originally called Asia was really called Asia, right? North Asia, South Asia, East Asia, West Asia was really originally called Asia. But a white man named Africanus, I guess he went around and some kind of way his name got attached to Africa, that continent of Africa. And so we all adopted that. But the original name of that place is Asia. But y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear me. I'm just teaching today. Teaching from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's message to the black man. But anyway, so anyway, but you thinking about back then, when you were living in your own country and your own land, and you spoke your own language, and you had your own names, right? You had your own names and you had your own country. Then we sent the most eligible, the most respected, the most honorable people sat at that elders table, right? And they decided, oh, what happened? Oh, you did this. Oh, you accidentally with your ox stepped on this man's sheep and killed his sheep. And you got to give him 3 other sheep. You got to give him 3 sheep for the cost of that one sheep that you know. We had an honorable table of people, and we only had honorable people at that elders table. Well, now you in America, another place named after a white man, right? Now you in America, and in America, it don't go like that, right? So you still thinking with your African brain or your Asiatic brain? No, you still got the Asiatic brain in there. But when you hear, you gotta turn it off and say, okay, I can't use my Asiatic brain here because this rulership here does not have anything to do with morals. Doesn't have anything to do with morals. Doesn't have anything to do with virtues. It doesn't have anything to do with any of that. Now it's expediency. That's the only thing. Can you get what I need you to get done? I don't care how the sausage got made. Can you get what I need to get done? Right? You know what I'm saying, Sister Don? It's just an ugly game up there. Right? And some of your homegirls and some of your homeboys, Sister Don, they understand that. But your homeboys and your homegirls over here on this side, we don't get it that good. we don't get it that good. We don't get it done. We think that, hey man, we don't get the practicality of American politics is based on practicality. Right? And you're right. Ain't no honor. Ain't no respect. It's only, oh, okay. Most of it is just, oh, my mama voted for you. Yeah. See, that's the thing, Don. We want to think of everybody as a good person, right? I want to think of this person as a good person. But black people have that really bad. Really bad. I mean, really, really bad. I think everybody across the board thinks that way, but I'm just pointing out some of the things that have us get caught up on the hook about some things, is that we think like, oh, everybody we send to politics or send to Capitol Hill, they should be a good person. And that's not going to be the case. That's not going to be the case. Rulership here is like Brother Farrakhan said, it's a democracy, right? It's a democracy. It's a demon-cracy. It's a demon-cracy. It's a demon ruled. You're demon ruled. It's a democracy, right? So therefore, if we understand that, then we will understand that, okay, if this is a demon ruled society, then therefore looking for good people to go into a demon ruled society and be successful being good, that ain't gonna work. They're gonna get ate up like Cain, like Abel, right? Abel was a good dude, man. Always had the best sacrifices, always had the best offerings to the God, everything, right? What happened to him? His brother saw him as a competitor, not as somebody to learn from, but his brother saw him as a competitor. And his head got so messed up over his brother having a better sacrifice, God loving his sacrifice better than him. He got upset that he couldn't get to God. So he got upset with his brother. And he said, okay, he loved this boy. I'm gonna take him out. In the heat of the passion of the hatred that he had for God, and the hatred that he had for God always giving it up to Abel, he said, I'll get it. I'm gonna get him. So killed the boy. Right? But that's how American politics is. We just crush you. If you say something negative about me, we just crush you. Right? And it's a way we gotta figure out how to do this thing right. Right? We gotta figure out a way. Because politics and American politics is just not that way. It's so complicated today. There's so many hands in the pot that it's hard for a person to come in. You have good politicians come in with good intentions. I'm going to do this, man. I'm tired of people dying in the middle of the street. I'm going to put a stop sign at this corner, right? You got people come into politics, they got good intentions. Then you got people that come into politics, man, they have no business being in politics. They have no business being in politics. But they got such connections on the business end that them going into politics can make some things happen, right? And there you go, Don. They get eaten alive, right? The Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, they get eaten alive, or they learn the game. They learn how to survive, and they learn the game, and they see, okay, I can't be no Boy Scout, not here. You're gonna be ineffective being a Boy Scout up here. You gotta be a tiger. You gotta be a viper, right? can't be no Boy Scout. You know what I mean? I'm true and blue. No. Not on that hill. Because it's decisions you guys, Don, it's life and death decisions you got to make, right? All them presidents have to make them, right? Some of them, they got buddies, right? They got buddies and they made decisions, man, and they sent America spiraling into an abyss. And one of those guys was Ronald Wilson Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Clay, what are you talking about? Larry Elder says Ronald Reagan was the greatest guy ever lived. No, he wasn't. He definitely was not. I'm not saying he was a bad person, but he was definitely not a good person. Because I don't know him well enough to say that he was a bad person through and through. But I definitely know that the way he moved, he didn't move well. And he did one of the worst things you could ever do in America. He cut the education budget for kids. He cut the education budget for kids. He took that money and he put it into the secondary real estate market so his buddies could make all this money, right? And everything was good for a few years, right? Then we had the savings and loan scandal. How did we get the savings and loan scandal? Where did that money come from? Ronald Wilson Reagan. That's where that money came from. He cut the education budget. Why do you think electric company went off the air? Why do you think Sesame Street shut down a little bit? Why do you think 321 Contact went off the air? Vila Allegra, right? All these little shows that was on, man, that when the homework channels, right? PBS had the homework channel. When you come in, you could call up, yeah, I got this algebra problem. They would write your algebra problem on the board and they would do the homework for you right there on the board. They would do the problem for you right there on the board, right? Who took all that money away? Ronald Reagan, right? And then poor George Bush Sr., right? All that crap, the fallout from all of that fell in his lap, right? He got a stock market crash. He had the savings and loan crash. He had all this stuff happen to him, right, on his watch. Well, why did it happen? Because of Ronald Reagan. And see, they don't say nothing about that, right? They let that go. They let all the stuff that Reagan did. What about Grenada? No, America had no business in Grenada. He sent American troops over into Grenada. For what? For what? I don't know if Ronald Reagan was a bad guy all the way through, but he definitely made some bad moves as president of the United States. Did he make some good moves? I'm sure he did, but we're not talking about the good moves he made. We're talking about the bad moves that he made. We have all these children, these latchkey kids. The 80s, are you kidding? The 80s was the years of the latchkey kids. I know, I had one. That's why it's so easy for me to wear my keys around my neck now. I had a key around my neck, right? My little brother was going to preschool. He was at a daycare place. So it was just me. I was letting myself in the house, right? And which a lot of kids was back then in the 80s, right? A lot of kids. I'm talking about back in the day when kids were walking home, right? Remember that, Don? You walking home from school? Now, ain't nobody walking home from school now, man. They either getting bussed or dropped off or Ubered or something, right? Very rare. You got to go into like lower income areas to see kids walking home from school. Back in the day, everybody walked home from school, right? It was not that many people on the buses, right? Yeah, I was a latchkey kid too. Yeah. They said, come in. When you come in, first thing you do is do your homework. I said, yeah, okay. Come straight in, Bugs Bunny, Twinkies, and a glass of milk. That was the first thing I hit, right? My father called me, hey, you doing that homework? Yeah, I'm doing it right now. I turned TV off real quick. So my father started getting smart, right? He'd come in and I turn TV off real quick and start doing my homework, right? He'd put his hand on the TV, right? He'd be like, you just turned the TV off, it's warm. I said, no, I didn't. I don't know nothing about science, right? The TV's on, it's gonna be, the heat's gonna, it's gonna heat up, right? Yeah, man. But you know, I'm just saying, it was a different time back then, right, Don? It was a different time. Now, holy smokes. Yeah, I got caught a couple times, Don. That TV was hot. I was like, oh, damn. The TV was hot. My father come in and put his hand on the TV. He say, hey, man, how come the TV's hot? Huh? Turn it on. It goes straight to the cartoon. It's already on the cartoons, right? Huh? He said, wait a minute, man. He said, I was supposed to be the last one to mess with this TV, and I sure wasn't watching no cartoons. Huh? Oh, man. Oh, man. Those are the days, y'all. But now, look at the day we're in now. But Ronald Reagan put a stop to all that, man. So if all those programs that was, because a lot of those programs we was watching, right? Because we was home by ourselves, right? But it kept us out of trouble, kept us in the house, it kept us, and we wanted to learn, right? It had us learning, right? Either learn how to spell, learn how math, or learning something, right? Ronald Reagan said, what the hell? To hell with it. If you can't afford to send your child to private school, that's on you. That's on you. Okay? So he started the ball rolling on that. Nobody else injected that money back into the Department of Education's budget. Now look at America. America went from, I think America was like 1 or 2 in mathematics. They like 28th or 29th and falling every year. India's on top of them. Man, all these little countries, they catching up to the U.S. Why? Because you're not investing in your children's education. What kind of world you gonna have when you got children that are not invested? But see, here's the thing. Ronald Reagan said, follow me. If you follow me and do what I say do, and you get in these secret clubs and this and that, your children are gonna be running this thing. So they went along with it. Join my secret society, and your children will be running this thing. You won't have to worry about. We gonna collapse this other stuff. Ronald Reagan killed the educational budget. So what happened with the schools? Remember, check this out, Don. Back in the day, you had a class called political science. They taught you how to vote. They taught you about candidates. They taught you about filibustering. They taught you about gerrymandering. They taught you about all of this stuff, right? Ronald Reagan, he cut the budget. The Department of Education was paying for that. You know why they cut the budget on that? You know why they cut it? Because the people on Capitol Hill, they don't want you to know how to do it. They want you to vote for who you like. They don't want you to vote for the best candidate. They want you to vote for who you like. Y'all ain't hear me. They say vote for who you like. Right? Now it has developed into vote for who we like. Vote for who the other person like. If there's that many people like this person, then I'm going to vote for them too. Yeah, you're right, Don. That's what I'm saying. They want you to be informed because you can't, he did it for 2 reasons. He got rid of, he said the people on Capitol Hill, they don't want you to be informed. They don't want you to know about how the political process works. They always want you to be at their mercy. where they could tell you what's happening. And we, as the American public, we just gonna take it and eat it up. And then know who else wanted you to not have? They had another class called economics, where they taught you how to. They taught you how to be on your own. They taught you how to iron your clothes. They taught you how to cook food. Shout out to the Harris Tribe Media Group. They taught you how to cook food. They taught you how to iron your clothes. They taught you how to budget your money. They taught you how to invest in stocks. They taught you all of this stuff because they knew you was about to be on your own, right? You had to take this class called economics. Guess who destroyed that? Ronald Reagan got rid of that, right? Cut the budget. The news was different back then too, right? But Ronald Reagan cut the budget. So he took all this stuff out of the education budget, took that money out of the education, the Department of Education's budget, and put it someplace else, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Patrice, the home economic class, right? They just taught you general information on how you can survive. But you know who wanted him to get rid of that? The credit card companies. The credit card companies, their lobby said, get rid of that class. Because there ain't enough of them going into debt. Because what's the first thing you get as soon as you graduate high school? What's the first thing you get? Credit card, right? That's the first thing you get. Even if you got a little job, right? You got a little job at McDonald's or something like that, right? And they throw you a credit card with a $300 or $400 budget, $400 line of credit, right? Especially us as men, we going out with somebody, man. We ain't got no money. Should we just draw down on that card, right? Or the same thing with the sisters, right? Y'all will see something out there, and y'all be like, I gotta have that. I gotta have them shoes. I gotta have that purse. I gotta have them clothes, right? But you don't realize because you're young, I'm gonna have to pay this money back plus 24% interest, right? I'm gonna have to pay this $300 back plus 24% interest. Yikes, right? We don't even realize it. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the Harris Media Group, go on over and subscribe to the Harris Media Group, man. Check them out, man. Check out Mrs. Harris, but also check out Mrs. Harris on that Cerebro Saturday, man. Whoo, man. It's tough, man. Mr. Harris makes it tough for me, man, because I'm like, I want to stream, but I'm listening to Cerebro. But anyway, man, shout out to Mr. Harris. Shout out to Mrs. Harris. They good folks, man. Good folks. All right, so yeah. So let's get back to Mr. Trump. Let's get back to Mr. Trump because I just was laying the foundation for how we got to the part where we got to now, where now things are so bad, things are so out of control, right? I think this is Donald Trump talking about this is him talking about grabbing women, right? Now I want anybody wants to come up, because we ain't gonna be out here long, man. We ain't gonna be here long. Anybody wants to come up and tell me why Donald Trump is this verdict was bad or this was wrong, please come up and tell me. Please come up and tell me why, and how you think it's going to affect people. I'm going to tell you how it's going to affect men. This is the first. Trump is going to be the first domino. He's the first domino. After this, you better tell the truth, brothers. You better tell the truth. A woman pops up out of somewhere. I'm talking about me, even myself. Woman pops up out of somewhere. Yeah, he did this, he did that. You better tell the truth. You better say, you know what? I did do it. I did do it. Be like Kevin Hart. I did do it. I was out my mind at the time, but now I got my mind right. I wouldn't come near you with 10-foot pole, right? But at that time, man, I was crazy. I was demon possessed, right? But you got to tell the truth, man. This dude got in trouble. Donald Trump got in trouble for lying, right? basically hurting the lady's career by saying, "Oh, this never happened." And the jury said it's the most likely that it did happen. We can't prove that it happened, but most likely it did happen. Thank you, $5 million. Come again, right? That's why, man, we got to change the way we moving, fellas. We got to change the way we move, man. The very disrespectful way we was, and then women was, you know, especially black women, women were just letting you go ahead and move that way, right? They would just let you move that way. No, man, we got to change how we moving. You cannot assault these women. You cannot, you know, physically assault them, visually assault them. What do visually assault them? I mean, you know, you can't do the helicopter dance in front of them and you don't know them, right? Can't do the helicopter dance in front of them, you don't know them, right? Some of y'all want to go out here and do the helicopter dance for women you don't know. No, you can't, right? Because we as men, man, we all got the same idea in our head, right? Man, this is the greatest penis that ever came. I ain't never seen nothing like this. This is great. This is the greatest thing that I ever seen before. I must share this with somebody, right? You like that, Don? I have to share this with somebody. The helicopter dance. What's going on, Patrice?
What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
I'm all right. How is you is?
Good. I'm a little tired, but I'm good. I had a long weekend.
I'll explain to you in a minute, Vaughn. Let me see what Patrice got to talk about. Okay, what, Patrice?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I asked for people to come up here to tell me that Donald Trump got railroaded. Are you about to tell me that Donald Trump got railroaded?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm not surprised, of this verdict, seeing that his behavior and then the videotape, you know what I mean? I think that this is kind of the norm, for guys like him, especially in politics. He
Yeah,
just happened to get caught on tape. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But I
yeah,
think that this has been going on for decades with a lot of politicians, and not just that, just people, men and women in power, period. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But specifically for men in power, that have used their power to
yeah,
do things of this nature, and then brag about it. It's sort of like the good old days, them good old boys, you know what I mean? That good old boys mentality where, we used to make excuses, or, people will make excuses and say, oh yeah, well, men will be men. Those days are over.
yeah,
I mean, men are still doing it. Don't get me wrong. Like they still, like you said, Mahomes' brother, they still doing it. They still getting themselves in trouble, even though they know that these laws are stricter and stricter. They still doing it because you know why? They think they can get away with it.
yeah, yeah. And I don't understand why after you see that the American, the American the legal system is not going to just stay around, let it happen. The women have a different mentality. I remember back in the day, you could do stuff like this, and a woman would pull you to the side and say, "Hey, bro." Nowadays, it's not like that, and I don't see why these guys don't understand that.
Yeah, I
And
did a brother like that I worked with probably about 25 years ago,
yeah,
you know. And I did. I pulled him to the side. I said, "Look, bro, because he had asked me would I go out with him or whatever." And I was like, "No." Then he started the little harassment thing, especially when he would get around other guys, you
oh,
know. And the last time I pulled him to the side, I was like, "You pull some shit like that again, I'm going straight to HR on you, dude. Like for
yeah,
real."
yeah,
And then it stopped. But yeah, back then it was easier to do that. And, if you threaten to go to HR on them, more than likely they will stop because they don't want to lose risking their job. They had families or whatever their situation was. But, and he wasn't a man in power like that, right? So he had a lot to lose. you
Right.
know, but men in power do it all the time. And this is the thing. If we went back for say the last 50 to 75 years, damn near all the politicians, you know what I mean? If it wasn't a statute of limitations on, damn near all the politicians, all the sports figures,
Hey,
all the people in entertainment. Do you know how many guys would get in trouble if the women or men came forward and said that they was sexually harassed or
man,
sexually assaulted or whatever,
man.
you know, in their lifetime with their colleagues, co-workers or whatever? Man, it wouldn't be nobody left.
No, no, no. Shoot, just regular cats. Regular
Yeah,
cats. Right?
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, it's a new day. We gotta do things different. Now, I'm gonna ask you this, Patrice.
Yes, sir.
I'm because I think I might have answered it already, but you can tell me your feelings on this.
Hmm.
Well, you know what? Let me explain a helicopter dance to Vaughn. Vaughn, the helicopter dance is something that men do to women to impress them, right? Let them see, the size of their manner, right? By making it move in a certain different in a circular manner. Oh, you got it now, Vaughn. Huh? Okay, all right, Patrice.
Yes, sir.
I hope I didn't scratch your virgin ears, Patrice. I didn't want to scratch your
No, you
virgin.
did not, sir. You're not saying anything I haven't heard before. Believe me,
Well, let me ask you
my ears don't bleed that easy.
this. All right, sis. Let me ask you this. All right, so because this is my opinion, but I want to see what your opinion is or what you have to add to it. My opinion is that of us as Black people, what we try to seem to do when we try to send people to elected positions, what we try
Hmm.
to do is send people who we think are like a goody person, right? Without
Good luck with that.
you're right. And so why do we do that, Patrice? Why do we look at why do we like say, oh, I want only a good person to be here, as opposed to other races of people look at, hey, this person can get what I need to get done. Let's get them in there. Why are we different than that? What has happened to us that made
Right,
us
because
different?
go ahead. I'm sorry, I thought you were done. Go
No, no,
ahead.
no. I am done. I'm done.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, if you want to talk about us and our culture and community as Black people, we tend to vote, you know, color or vote
Agreed.
charismatic conversation instead of voting policy, regardless to the race
Agreed.
of the person. You know, we just tend to relate in that way, especially if you were born and raised traditionally as a Democrat. That's just what we have always done. I did it when I was in the
Yeah.
Democratic Party because traditionally that's how my family grew up, and the family and my mother's mother and father, parents, and it just kind of went that way, you know, until I started, you know, I worked the Obama campaign and I started looking into policies and how politics and the science of politics work. And that's another thing we lack as a community. We lack the science of politics, because if we
Yes.
knew better, we would vote, we would vote policy and not the person just because they Black, or not the person just because they got a charismatic conversation, or they dangling the shiny object, you know, or the carrot in front of us, and we think, ooh, and then we look at, well, this person is better than this person. Oh, I'm gonna vote, you know, the lesser evil. Well, have you really done your research on who the lesser evil is? Because if you pull up something, it's gonna probably be something on both of the politicians. But that's what we tend to do. You know, we are very emotional voters. We're very color based voters. You know what I mean? Instead of voting the policy with the person. That's what I'd say is like a major problem in our culture and communities.
But why, Patrice? Why are we like? Why do we do that?
Because it's a conditioning. It's a conditioning. You
Oh,
know, it's a social engineering of the mind. It
okay.
is a it is a what's the other word I'm looking for? It's like conditioning, but it's a doctrine. We've been indoctrinated. We believe that we should be Democrats or whatever because our parents were and they parents were. It just is. You know what I mean? And it just always have been that way. If you don't learn the science of politics, then you're gonna continue to do what you're doing.
Right.
And vote in the same way. Listen, I used to go to the polls, and don't worry about policy. Just if the person was black or whatever, if they were
Right.
Democrat, I vote straight
Right.
Democrat down the line and not know nothing. You know what I
Right.
mean? But now I don't do that. I don't
Right.
do that. I
Right.
research the person, see what their
Right.
policies is. I voted a mixture. I voted independently, and because that's what I am now. Even though my views tend to be more conservative, but I'm an independent.
Right.
So I vote the policies, not the person anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wish we would all do that. I wish we would get better at that instead of just voting, like you said, just because the person's black. That don't, he might be worse than anybody else, any other candidate, right? So,
Exactly. And we got to realize that it ain't no perfect politician.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you see a politician that's on the ballot, right? He may be Republican against a Democrat, even though you may be Democrat. But if that Republican Party is better than that Democratic Party, what's wrong with you voting for that particular person in that slot instead of just because you Democrat, I'm gonna vote Democrat. But the Republican person got the better policy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we have that choice to do that and operate in that manner, but we don't.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's a sad situation, and we focus on so much foolishness, right? We're not paying attention to the issues at hand, and then we say, "Oh, this thing is stacked against us," but we're not taking advantage of the opportunities to make it push it the other way. In my opinion, now,
Absolutely, especially when it comes to locally, right? When you're voting for your judges, your
yeah,
chief of police, your sheriffs, your DAs and attorney generals, your aldermen, congressmen, things of that nature that's going to affect your community specifically. That's the most important where you should do the research on the people you're going to vote for.
yeah, because they're gonna affect you the most, right?
Absolutely, more so than the president.
Right? Because I hear guys talk all the time, right? Me and Rico did so many uh, live streams and videos on child support situation, right? And every time you talk to a guy, they say, "Hey, they need to change the child support laws." Then the next question you ask them, "Do you vote?" No, I don't. Hey, I ain't gonna. You're like, well, how's this gonna change? If you're not gonna vote, how is this gonna change? If you're not
Because
gonna,
if every person keeps saying, "Well, I don't vote because it ain't gonna do no good," if every person you had a conversation say they don't vote because of that, then look at all those votes that's not getting cast. If everybody had that mentality that
that's
say
what I'm
that, that's why there's a lackluster, right, of
saying. Right.
the issue with child support or
That's
the issue with anything that affects us as a community or as a culture of people. We tend to think, and we got to be honest looking at it, especially uh Democrats, black Democrats, because I think it's like we like 80% plus percent Democrats are black people. But we got to look at, for decades and decades we've been voting that way,
hello.
and what has it gotten us? What has it gotten us? So if you're gonna change or take a chance, look at it. I would just say, just look at a policy of a Republican locally in your community, or independent locally in your community, and say, let me go to their website and check out what they
There you go.
policies are on this, that, and the other.
Yeah. Where
There's
they come
nothing
from, where
wrong
they
with it.
been. You know what I usually do? I usually go. I try to see what they're talking about for 2 years ahead, and 2 years. I try to go at least 2 years behind. See where they been, what they've been up to, right? Did this
Exactly.
person just come out of nowhere? Did it just come out of the business community? Did it just come, or have they been on the poll? Have they been on it, and what they've been doing since they was on it? You know what I mean? It's hard, because you got all these candidates to look up. But I mean, you got Google, man. You can see, you can look them up and and see
Well,
what
they
they've been doing.
specifically have their websites when they running, and you can go right there and see what their policies are. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
but I mean, Patrice, you can go to their website, but I'm talking about if you go research them, they got what do you call that, non-biased sites that just list
Non-binary.
just lists their accomplishments, what they've done, where they've been, what they've done. That's what I did last time. I just looked at, okay, it's a website. Well, at least here in California, there's a website where it had all the candidates listed, and you can look them up and you see what all they've been through or where they came from or whatever. You can look it all up and see. So like, in other words, it wasn't like you looking at their website, because their website gonna make them look like gold, right? Okay, that's cool. But
But
then,
their website do still have their policies though.
yeah. I agree, but still, if if you want like an objective view of that person, there's sites
Yes,
that give you that
overall.
objective. Yeah, that give
Oh,
you the
yeah,
objective.
overall, you can go back all the way
Exactly.
to their start. Like, were they always in politics? What did they graduate, from college with a degree in political science? Like, all those things you can say, okay, well, this person's been in politics for a long time, opposed to, we have to also pay attention to something else too. When a politician, or I ain't gonna even say a politician, when a person come out of nowhere and they run and they get elected, believe me, they are picked by
Yeah,
the party that, you know what I mean? They are
yeah,
picked by a certain sector of
yeah,
people in Congress or in that sector that specifically want them to run based off of their agendas. So
yeah,
they will pick a person to run, and you be like, well, who is this? Where they come from? I ain't never
yeah.
heard of them. That has happened all the time, right?
Yeah,
And
that
then
happened with Barack Obama. Yeah,
yeah, and then they'll talk a good talk, but then they whole agenda change when they get elected.
yeah, man. Well, see, because here's the thing, they like Barack Obama, right? Um, and I like the guy, but that's what happened, right? We're just talking the truth, right? So what happened was he ran on a campaign of change, hope. It was never really I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It was just hope, change, right? So it was very vague. So when he got in the office, really didn't have uh, to be held accountable to a lot, except for the people that actually put money into his campaign, which typically is not us. The people that put
Exactly.
the money in his campaign, he definitely had the to-do list for them, right? And so that's but he was running, and so I just think that we as a group need to like do like you said, just look at the policy. Look at the policy of the person, right? Just force them to show you their hand, right? They shouldn't just get elected just because I'm the first black this or I'm the first woman that or whatever. It shouldn't be that way. It should be, hey, okay, you the first, that's good. Okay, now you got something unique. We're interested. What's your policy? What you talking about? How are you gonna help? You know what I mean?
Right, brother, because you heard me say before when I worked the Obama campaign, listen, we all know, especially us as Black people, we always run off emotion, right? We vote off emotional. We vote because the person is Black, and listen, that was history made for us to be able to live to see Obama get in office. That was one of the main
Absolutely.
reasons why I worked the campaign, because I was proud of that moment. I wanted something to tell my grandchildren, something to show them, all the pictures and stuff I had, right?
Yeah.
So, but then now I'm in it and I see how politics work. Never had experienced that before, right? So
Right.
when I see certain group of people, and I was a part of the people that was where the checks was coming in too. And when I saw certain groups of people sending these big fat checks, and
Wow.
I was like, okay, and their agenda was, we pouring this into you and your campaign because we want this law passed, we want this policy passed, we want this, these rules and regulations passed to cover us. And I was like, that's how it is. That
Yeah.
is the science of politics. You literally are purchasing your political figure, literally.
It's called quid
And
pro quo.
that's something that we don't do as a people. We don't put the resources and the funding into the person and say, this is you, we will fund you these resources, but you gotta take this to Congress and get this passed on our behalf. We don't do that as a people. And that's another thing that's hurting us as well. And I saw that firsthand, right? And then when and at the time I was in Nevada when I worked Obama campaign, and then when him and Michelle came to Nevada, doing his bid and his run and everything, even before they let all of the residents and the citizens in, we were all behind, the what do you call it, the what's the name line where all the politicians and all of that were. So I got to see firsthand hear the conversations and see transactions done and be a part of, phone calls and meetings and things of that nature. And I was like, wow, we are so lackluster when it comes to this. Like, we really don't know how politics is ran unless you are a politician that know that only thing I have to do as a politician is, if I'm running, is make you not like the other guy.
Yeah.
That's what I got to do. My job, if I'm running, is just, no matter what, just make you not like the other guy so that I'll be more appealing to you.
There you go. There you go. It's a bad situation, man. And then that person get in, and what they gotta do, they're gonna do on the list. They got a list of stuff they got to do based on the amount of money they got from whoever they got it from, and they just start knocking out that list, right? And then maybe they throw something like Obama. He opened up a couple parks and stuff like that. But if you don't really have no way to force them to do it, these politicians ain't gonna be able to do nothing. I mean, they ain't gonna do nothing if you ain't got a way to force them to do it. And so that's the thing, man, that we got to understand, man. You got to force them. You can't just say morally you should do this, because you ain't sending moral. That's not a place where morality is ruling, man. It's not morality, right?
Morals and politics, that don't even mix.
I'm just saying, man, not American politics, definitely not, right? It just doesn't work that way, right? So anyway, we got I want to focus more on Donald Trump and how this verdict is going to affect him and his political career. Do you think that this will have an impact on his political career?
Very little. And I'm going to tell you why.
Wow. Wait a minute. Say that again, Patrice.
Very little. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. Why?
Because the people that support him and the Republican Party and agenda, listen, they don't care if that man murked somebody. Okay?
Yeah.
If they want their agenda pushed, they're going to vote for him regardless.
Right.
All of this smoke and mirrors that's coming along with this guilty verdict, like you said, is civil. That's how they gonna look at it. But see, the Democrats, this is all they gonna be able to push as far as, trying to make him look bad in a light again. The same way the media hyped it up. Well, he's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist. And it got so embedded in us that's all we heard was he's a racist. He's a racist. This is what the Democrats gonna do. As far as we're trying to smear his campaign, is bring up this crowd, because they really don't have any other leg to stand on, right? But the people that support and is backing him financially with their votes, the agenda of the Republican Party, gonna overlook all of this.
Right.
Trust and believe. That's just how politics work. They don't care. They know they all dirty. They know they all immoral. They know they all on some BS. They know it.
Right.
But they don't care. They still push for the person that they want to see win the office to get their agendas to come to fruition. Okay?
Agreed. Definitely. Well, I think that I think you're probably right. I mean, I think it's gonna give him a little turbulence because the Democratic press they're gonna lambast this dude, right? And they're gonna rock him. They're gonna rock him for a minute. But when they look at all these businesses that are when they look at the economic situation right now, they're going to say, "Hey, we need this guy in office."
Yep,
Okay,
regardless to that charge. When they look
exactly.
at how Biden has screwed up the economy and put all of these different agendas in here when it comes to uh exploitation of children and these laws that they pass and in schools and in certain states and things of that nature, this is going to be what the Republican Party is going to ride on. They are going to ride on that, while the Democrats is going to ride on this right here, because that's basically the only leg they got to stand on, other than continuing to call him a racist. So the media is going to hype that up on that side for them, and then the Republicans are going to hype up the things that the Democrats are doing, or the lack thereof, that Biden hasn't done for black people and things of that nature. They gonna put all the policies and stuff that he passing and allowing to push, in the schools, and when it comes to underage children, the whole thing with the alphabet community and things of that nature. Oh yeah, the Republicans gonna continue to push on that. And another thing the Republicans gonna continue to push on too is the abortion issues, because they make black women the face of abortion issues.
Okay. I agree. I agree. I think, and I think another thing they're going to push is just the economic situation. They're going to really hammer that home. They're going to say,
Yes.
yeah, man, they're going to say, this guy has just destroyed the economy, and
Yep.
he has no friends abroad. At least Trump has friends, across the waters. He can make some things happen. You got this guy, man, who just can't. I mean, he can't even get a budget done. They're gonna embrace this dude, right? That's what they're gonna say, right? Good old Joe is gonna be, so it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a fight. I don't think he's gonna be just knocked out of the race. I think it's gonna be a fight. For sure. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I agree with you. After listening to you, I agree. I don't think that it's going to just wipe him out. I think he's still, the people that really want him in office, that have the biggest war chest, he's going to be around. He's going to be around for sure. He's going to be around.
Yeah, and
Now,
just look
let me
at.
ask you this, Patrice.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is going to affect Biden? Like, this thing is going to affect Biden, like give him a leg up, or some kind of way help him in some kind of way?
Well, for the headstrong alt-right left wingers, yeah, I'll say it would, because like I said, this is going to be the leg that probably he stands on, and the Democratic Party stand on, right?
Right.
So I would say, yeah, they're going to wear it in the ground, right? But like I said, the Republicans are going to run that other side, when it comes to the Democrats. And honestly, it's the truth on both sides when you look at, the guilty verdict for Trump. And then when you look at Biden, has absolutely been a big part of our economy crashing.
Okay.
So, and like I said, the laws and the policies that the Democrats are pushing. And I think that is a lot of people now that is starting to wake up and realize, okay, if you're going to say two of the lesser evils, then you got to write the pros and the cons down of those two lesser evils and come to your own conclusion. So you got a man that's a Democrat that is president now, that has a history of being a racist for 50 plus years as a Dixiecrat. Someone that was a senator in Delaware that said he didn't want his children going to school with children that look like you and me. Okay, who is also was her friends with the David Duke guy, right? And now you talking 5 decades of that from Biden's side, and been in politics for
Talking about
50.
Ku Klux Klan, David Duke, right?
Yeah. And you looking at a person that's been in politics as a politician for 50 plus years. Now you look at Trump, who people say is a racist as well, but he's only been in politics for what, the last 4 to 6 years, right? When he was president, and currently now, whatever, however many years that add up to. So then, who got the longest history of being racist, and who has the longest history of doing things that specifically affected our community? Biden, the Clintons, Kamala Harris was all a part of the 94 crime bill. Trump wasn't in office and wasn't running, wasn't thinking about politics when that happened, right? So if you look at, you have to really look at the pros and cons of both parties. So if you want to say who is the lesser evil, who you think is the lesser evil? Look at the record of Biden, 50 plus years, and look at the record of Trump, 4 to 6 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I hear you. I hear you. I mean, it's like but we like that
But we
girlfriend.
don't dig deeper in the surface of things. Is basically what I'm saying. We
Right.
don't literally sit down and make a pros and cons list. If you gonna say I'm gonna vote for the lesser evil, that's all I'm saying. We don't really, like I said, get into the politics. I mean the science of politics like we should.
Right.
Because if we did, trust me, our frame of mind will be totally different. I know mine's changed, and mine's changed during the Obama campaign. That was the icing on the cake for me when I saw on the inside how it worked. I was like, oh hell no, we doing it all wrong and been doing it all wrong since we our ancestors fought during the civil rights movement for us to vote. We've been doing it wrong since the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but see, it's the thing. It's like we got this mentality. Like I got a son, right, and he has partners. He has business partners, right. He does a business on the side of his regular job, and so I'm telling him, get rid of your business partners, man. He's like complaining about the money that he's making with his partners, and I said, get rid of them. He's like, I don't want to get rid of them. I'm like, why? And he's stuck on this homeboy stuff. Like, these are my homeboys. Yeah, but they costing you money. Get rid of them, right? You know what I mean? But we just don't want to break up with them.
Right. We want to be loyal. We want to stay loyal to the people that have been
somebody
harming us, or either, right. We stay loyal to the ones that either been harming us or have done absolutely nothing for us. So it's
crazy.
So either one of those things, and yeah. So that's the thing. Like, we have to think beyond the surface of our emotions on how we vote as well too. Like I said, we are emotional people. We get moved by, that's why a lot of people so caught up in to the pulpit pimps of a lot of these preachers, because they preach a good game. They've been doing it for decades, to our Black people, moving us, making us cry, making us feel away. They know how to work us and work our emotions all the time. Why we going in our purse and going in our wallets, right?
Yeah.
So
y'all didn't buy me a watch. Y'all didn't buy me a yacht.
I need a jet. I need a jet plane. How you think I'm gonna preach the word of God to me? So I need $100,000 for my congregation. If you don't, wait, what did one need to buy and say? Oh, I know you got it. She said it's what she said, I need $21,000 and I need $1,000 from 21 people. I know you got it in here because I know God told me you got it.
You got it. You gotta give it up.
And that's what we as a people do. They work on our emotions. They know how to work on the emotions of the Black community. But we got to realize the Democratic Party, from the Aunt Maxines and all of them, they need to retire and pass the baton to a younger generation. Like, it's no way in the world these people should be in office this long. I'm sorry. They need to have a cap on how long a person can run for office. You know what I mean? When it comes to people like the Maxine Waters and stuff like that of the world, they don't want to pass the baton to a younger generation coming with different mindset, with different, agendas that they want to push for the Black community. If you truly say you are, I mean, Maxine Waters, everybody love her. What they call her, auntie, and this, that, and the other.
Yeah, right, Auntie Maxine.
But what? But listen, what is her in her what do you call it, district or community there? Where she at? Ain't she in California? Where y'all at?
Yeah, she's in California. She out here.
What has she done specifically for Black people since she been in office for decades?
Hey, Patrice, right out there in Watts.
I'm just keeping it a bean.
Right out there in Watts.
But we love her.
She got the Maxine Waters learning center, right? Where they teach you the trades, they teach you nursing, they teach you all kind of stuff. Now, I will give her that. That I will give her.
Well, you know they got to give you a little tokenism, right? Come on now.
I'll give her that. I'll give her that. That
But
place.
bro, Clarence, her district is still poor. They still
Yeah,
It's still a high crime,
yeah.
and she over there living in that big old gated, secured mansion that she got, right?
Yes.
Off
Yeah.
the backs of all these black people that have been voting for her for decades.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
saying.
they vote for her. She don't even have to run. When she ran against this dude, the Republican,
Yeah, that young man, that young
the
black man.
young brother. She
Yeah,
didn't do nothing.
he was at the Black Agenda. He spoke at the Black Agenda. And when I saw it, man, this brother was like he young, fresh, new ideas. But
Yeah,
we didn't vote for him just because he's a Republican, and we love Auntie
exactly.
Mac,
You know, he
and
was
they
giving away
keeping
food.
her in
He was
office.
giving away
And she
food
knows she
baskets.
should pass the baton to the younger generation. It's crazy.
He was giving away food baskets to the people, right? He's a Navy veteran.
Hmm.
He was giving away food, man. He got right up the street from my house. He was giving away food, right? But guess what? All Maxine Waters had to do is get on radio and say he's a Republican.
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
it.
That was it.
Not I'm gonna
That
do
was
this,
it.
I'm gonna do that. She said he's a Republican like Donald Trump.
Exactly.
That was it.
That
That
was
was
it.
it.
And if we know our history, and most of us, especially, since we've been having conversations on YouTube, we know that our party originally, after slavery, after we could vote, after Reconstruction and the Civil Rights Movement, prior to the Civil Rights Movement, Black people during the Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all that, they were Republicans.
Absolutely.
Our
Absolutely.
party was Republican Party when we switched over during the Civil Rights Movement to the Democratic movement. Who was the president? Was it Johnson? One of them was in office during that time, and
No, it
that's
was
when we
not.
switched over. Was it?
Oh,
Who
we
was it?
switched over. Oh, it was
Or was it Eisenhower?
Roosevelt. It was Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. I need one of them. Yeah, during that time when the switch came from the Black community. Again, that's because we was promised stuff, right?
Right. And then they really ran to him when John Kennedy came in. When John Kennedy, he
Exactly.
really brought everybody else in. Yeah, definitely,
Yep,
definitely.
that's true.
And
And
Abraham
that was
Lincoln was a Republican.
Yep. And that
Abraham,
was during the civil rights movement with the Kennedys as well.
yeah, man, it was a crying shame, crying shame. But we gotta wrap this thing up, Patrice, because I just want to get on here real quick and talk about the Donald. Any other last words you got to say about the Donald before we wrap this thing up, girl?
Just that don't be surprised. We all know he's still gonna run. Just don't be surprised if, these people that are your alt right wingers, right? That are gonna push for him. They gonna put all their resources, all their funding into him because they got a specific agenda that they are passing or movement, right? Just like the other side. But this is, like I said, this is going to affect them very little. I would say, finally, lesson learned that we as Black people got to realize there are not going to be any perfect political parties, no matter what, because their job when they run is to find the dirt on the other person. I don't care if they go all the way back to when they was 5 years old and say they sucked their thumb. They are going to find something, because their job is to make you not like the other person to get your vote. And I digress with that, brother.
All right, sis. You good? We need to talk, or you good?
Yeah, we could talk for a sec.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna pull you down real quick.
All right.
All right. Let me pull Patrice down. That was Patrice. All right, y'all. I'm saying the same thing, man. You're right, Vaughn. I mean, everybody done some good. So I'm not saying Maxine Waters is all bad, but definitely she didn't have to. She's done some things that was very questionable, and that's the whole point. Is okay. Is she getting stuff done that we need to get done so that things can be better for us in our community? Well, if she has, I'm looking. I'm looking. That she has done some things, like put up some she got that center down here in Watts. She got that education center, which I think is a good thing. I think that's a good thing, right? They teach you how to do a lot of different stuff, right? But I just don't think she's in touch with what the people actually need at this point, and especially since I saw her when she got up there and she said that the WAP song showed strength and it was a good thing. The WAP song with Cardi B and what's her name? Whatever her name is. Yeah, that was I said, uh-oh, this lady is way out of pocket. But she trying to jump back in the pocket by jumping on that situation. And that, to me, that was a bad thing. That was a bad look right there, in my opinion, right? In my opinion. Everybody, why y'all keep saying it's time for Auntie Maxine to retire? Risa, you don't even live in California. You know what? She needs to retire. Go. But y'all, we gotta stop looking at our politicians and looking at them saying, you know, because they're not a Boy Scout, that we're gonna kick them out, right? And, you know, Maxine Waters ain't no Girl Scout, but look at her; she's been around a long time, right? And when is the last time you heard Maxine Waters tell you what her political agenda was? Probably in about 20 years, you ain't never heard that, right? Because she don't have to. All she got to do is say this person's a Republican and they're racist like Trump. That's all she got to say, and that to me is not good. You know what I mean? She should still be saying, "Okay, you want to say that? Cool. What are you talking about then? What are you talking about?" But I know I was here. I was here when she ran against that young brother, right? The young brother was a Republican, and you know, he was just starting out, and he was giving away food back. He was literally giving away food to the community, right? He would do it every weekend, give food away, right? Just tell people, hey, just vote for me. If you agree with what I'm talking about, just vote for me. Look up my stuff, right? Look me up. My son went up the street and got some food baskets from him, right? He says, look me up. Just see if you agree with me, right? And all she did was say, hey, he's a Republican like Donald Trump. Don't vote for him. Vote for me. That's it. I mean, it can't be that simple, right? We need to make it. We should have made the young brother show his hand too, right? Hey, show us your hand. What you talking about? That's how we got to be more. We got to be more strategic, y'all. We can't just be like, oh well, I'm gonna vote for him because he's black. Because then you're gonna get stuck. Because now you're gonna have a race where both people are black. Then what? Right? So you don't want to vote for somebody just because of the color of their skin. You want to vote for them based on their political, their viewpoint, how their viewpoint and their agenda aligns with yours. Are you like-minded? That's what you want to be doing. Like Alderman Davis. My favorite project family, the Evans family, and their good friend Winston-Mania. Esmalona, fool. Y'all remember that from Good Times, right? Now, Winsomnia. Alderman Davis, right? You know that Alderman Davis was actually a cop in real life. He was actually a cop in real life. Yeah, man. But anyway, that's some good times nostalgia. But yeah, man. Just we gotta think, y'all. We gotta think when we out here voting. Forget Democrat, forget Republican, forget that. Is this person gonna do what we need them to do? If he ain't gonna do what I need him to do, then I'm not voting for him. I don't care what his political party is, right? Don't be like most black people, man. Oh, I'm just voting Democrat all the way down the line. Nah, look where that got us, y'all. Look where that got us. But we need a whole bunch of other stuff to be revamped. So we'll get into that later. We'll get into another conversation later. Maybe on Thursday we get another conversation. Let's see. Vaughn said Donald Trump needs to be disqualified from running. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, yeah, man, that's good old Joe said that, right? Yeah, but you know what? I don't know if he should be disqualified from running. I definitely think he should be scrutinized for, show us your hand. Show us what you're going to do for us, right? You got us, you got to, I mean, at least I got to give Trump this. At least Trump was willing to sit down with Ice Cube and the rest of these people and talk about the situation. Joe Biden and them said, man, we ain't, you know, they told him, oh yeah, we'll talk to you. And they never returned that call, right? So we can't be like, oh, I hate this man. You can hate him all you want. Is he gonna do what we say? Right? The sun is hot. The sun is hot. The sun is hot. Average surface temperature somewhere around 800,000 degrees. Right? That's at the surface. We ain't even talking about you know, if you go deeper into the core, going towards the core. We're talking about just at the surface, average temperature, 800,000 degrees Fahrenheit, right? It's hot. But it's still, if we use it right, give us a long life, right? Patrice said Biden told Ice Cube, wait until I'm in office, and then we'll talk. Ice Cube still waiting? Ice Cube still waiting. All right, family, y'all go out here. Now, Clarence, why'd you do this thing on Donald Trump? Do I want you to go out here and start jumping on Trump? No, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't care. Or do I want you to go out here and jump on Maxine Waters? No, I don't want you to go jumping on Maxine Waters. I don't want you to go jumping on Trump. Just make peace, people. We got to make our politicians show our hand, show their hand. No, you ain't gonna get away with just vote for me because I'm black. You ain't gonna get away with just vote for me because I'm a Democrat. Vote for me because I'm a Republican. You ain't gonna get away with that. Vote for me because I'm a conservative. That's not gonna get it. What are you gonna do specifically for us? That's the mistake we made with in the second campaign of Barack Obama. The first campaign, yeah, we was all excited. We wanted to create history. Okay, the second campaign, we should say, okay, all right, Doc, what you gonna do for us? Lay it out for us. Lay it out. What you gonna do? We need this, 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 and this. And we should have forced him to show his hand. But we got to get better at that. All right, y'all. All right, family. This one's going to be a short one, very, very short. Like I said, man, if you are out here and you watching this and you watch this in the replay, if you got a issue of you feel like Donald Trump was railroaded, or this was a bad situation, or it shouldn't have happened, and he got wrongly convicted or whatever, man, you know what I mean? Well, let me say convicted, because he didn't get convicted. He got a judgment. Okay, you don't get convicted in civil court. You get a judgment, right? So he got a judgment against him. People gonna say a lot of different things to kind of play word games with you, semantics, to just get clickbait. But you can't get convicted in a civil case, right? You can only get a judgment, right? So, but anyway, yeah. So therefore, just watch what you're doing out here, y'all. Watch what y'all doing when you're voting for somebody. First of all, you need to vote. And then if you not vote, you vote for somebody. Shout out to Big Rigs Slash, man. Shout out to Big Rigs. When you voting for people, make sure you voting for the right person. Make sure you voting for the person that has your best interest. Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, whatever party they're at, right? Make sure you vote for the person. Okay? A lot of people died so you could have that opportunity. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Hey, voting ain't going to change nothing. It may not. I'm not saying it. I don't think Patrice or myself are saying voting is 100% the answer. We're not saying that. All we're saying is that's your option. That's an option on the table, and you should use every piece of machinery that they got out here on the table to try to make a move, make a change, right? So anyway, shout out to everybody, man. Thank y'all for joining me for a quick one. We might do another quick one on Thursday. Definitely Sunday. We'll see what's happening in between now and Sunday. All right, y'all. I will see y'all next time. Everybody have a good rest of your evening and day. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. That's what I told him, Patrice. Patrice said it's not the end all be all. No, we're not saying that. I know people would try to frame it like that, right? They try, oh, Patrice and Claire saying it's just that's all you got. Rico too. That's just all you got to do. If you just vote, we can vote our way out of this situation. No, we're not saying that. It's just one of the tools in the toolbox we can use, right? One of the tools we can use. So let's use every tool. Let's use everything. Let's empty that toolbox. Huh? All right. Shout out to Risa, by the way. Okay, y'all, we're gonna get up out of here, man. And we will see y'all on Thursday. All right. All right, y'all. Peace.